everyone. Welcome. It's Friday. We're at the end of our week here on Going Optimal, and most of you know what that means. It's Chat Gauntlet Day. I take on my viewers on Friday in a series of best-of-one matches after doing an offline, third-party website. It's technically online, but it's on a third-party website called mtgadraft.herokuapp.com. We draft over there. We export our decks to MTG Arena, and then we play using the friend challenge system on Arena. It's a great way to draft for only the cost of wild cards, which really in a draft is very low. If you have any kind of collection and you're just doing a normal set like Zendikar Rising, I mean, I suppose I would want to have maybe 2 mythic wild cards and 4 rare wild cards to feel pretty good about being able to craft anything I might want to play in a given draft. That's not that many. If you just keep a few spare wild cards around, you can come in, draft for free offline, lovely interface, human drafting, all human, and then with the feature of exporting and playing, you get to do what even Arena doesn't offer, which is in-pod drafting, in-pod play. I mean, Arena offers in-pod drafting, but I'm talking about in-pod play, playing against the people you drafted with. That's like classic Magic draft, and we can now capture that on our own via Heroku app, via this mtgadraft.herokuapp.com. If you use this feature a lot, you can check out at the bottom of the screen on Heroku, on MTGA Draft, there's a donation link for Senryoku, who makes this website that we use regularly. So I want to remind you of that. You can thank Senryoku with a little donation there. And of course, if you want to thank me, you can check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, via my affiliate link, or in the panels down below, in the link in chat, or in the link in the show notes on YouTube. The affiliate link ties that launch to Card Kingdom via to my account, my stream. Helps keep me on the air. They know. Like when I sit down and talk with them, we look at the activity that people engaged in after they went to Card Kingdom using my affiliate link. So just want you to know it really does matter. And of course, if you're on YouTube, hitting the like button, let's move that algorithm. Give me a quick like. And more people will find me, and it'll be more likely that I'll be able to do this indefinitely into the future, right? So help me out with that. It'll be great. Thank you, Card Kingdom, for your support too. Let's head over to the left monitor now. And this is the site I was talking about, mtgadraft.herokuapp.com, and we've got 8 people here in the queue. And when Skeptical Hat, who is our session owner, runs a ready check, and we verify that everybody's set to draft, we will get going. It's it doesn't have so if you've never used this website before, it doesn't have like perfect collation. It doesn't like perfectly reflect how Wizards boosters are collated, but it does do color balancing. It makes sure that the packs have some color balance in them. I don't know if it does every pack has a flip. I know that Senryoku was working on that, and here's a flip here, so maybe he's got that going. And this is a great place to start for sure. Vastwood Fortification, a fine pick. It flips into a forest-like ETB tapped land, green land. But it's a combat trick on this side. But Tabarax, the Cleric deck is strong, and Tabarax, as a baseline air elemental, right? We have 2 and a black for a 2/2 flying. We call that, not air elemental, sorry, Windrake. We call that a Windrake because the vanilla creature is that. And then it's got all this upside in terms of clerics dying and whatnot. I do want to see, of course, what else is in the pack, but I am pretty enamored by that rare, and I think we're going to start there. It's certainly a worthy place to start. See what's open. Also looking around at other clerics, because Tabarax is at his best in a cleric deck. Of course, he's got cleric synergies. Scion of the Swarm, for example, would be great. Gloomhunter, if Gloomhunter wheels, we still are in black, we would fist pump that. I'd even take this Expedition Skulker or even the Skydancer. Like, there's a lot of black in the pack, which means a couple of things. We are likely to wheel something, but we are also likely to seed players downstream from us to the left into black with there's decent black cards, but there's other cards here too. It's going to be pretty hard to see exactly what people are taking. Like, I think the second pick out of this pack is the Vastwood Fortification. Scion is up there, but we just need to see what the other players value here. And I'm talking it through because I also really want to make note of what we see when we get this pack back, okay? So we're passing a Scion, a Gloom Hunter, and a Skulker, and a Skydancer. Help me remember that, and when our pack 1, pick 9 comes around, let's see what's left in black. Maybe we won't care at that point, but maybe we will. And then, like, I see Soaring Thought Thief, and it makes me want to take that. Rabid Bite is excellent. But it does have some setup cost. You know, you need a creature. It needs to have a reasonable amount of power, etc. So Rabid Bite is great for green, but it's not incredible. Fury is the flip card here. The Cliffs. That's what Jinx is calling out with this is basically Fling for 3 mana, but on the other side is a red land. Very powerful. I feel you, Jinx. I'm going to hold the Thought Thief, though, and one of the reasons why is when we were looking at the cards that might wheel, I really think that 2/1 Flying Rogue is a strong candidate to wheel from that pack, and that's a great thing to wheel with the Thought Thief second pick. I do love this Royal Mage as well. Royal Mage is big game if you can get to that 6, but I do like hedging towards the Thought Thief and seeing if the Rogue deck is available for us. Or even, you know, just blue-black. It doesn't, like, we could also get into something lightly party-based. Pathways are flip here, and it's just a land on both sides, and it's not where we're at, so this is right out. Wind Robber is interesting, but not even what we need to prioritize here. I think we're gonna let the Wind Robber go and hope it wheels. I think the more appealing cards here are either like pivoting and possibly, you know, hedging towards green. But I really do like Glacial Grasp and Field Research. And especially like the Glacial Grasp with the Rogue deck, it does a little mill. And it, yeah, I think it's one of these two, but I actually think Glacial Grasp might be better in a Rogue's deck. But Research is more generically good, and we might wheel these grasps. I don't know how much our opponents here value the Glacial Grasp, where the minds are about these types of cards. It's not, yeah, it should wheel, but so should the Wind Robber. Like, I'm kind of hoping the Wind Robber wheels. I'm going to go with my gut here and take the card that better supports our second pick, Soaring Thief, and the expectation that Rogue will come around. So and then if we get the Wind Robber around, we have a great Rogues deck brewing. Maybe not, but if not, it's not that important. I'm not even going to take it as a signal if it doesn't wheel. But I think the Grasp is even more important here. We could take Skydancer here. This is what I'm hoping to wheel from the other pack, though, from our pack 1. We could take the Skydancer. We could also just take the Blood Priest. It's a 2-drop. It's black. If we end up in Clerics instead, you know, if the blue dries up, we could be so happy that we snapped up a Blood Priest here. I hear you, Jinx, but I think they are weak enough outside of the Rogue's plan that I want to try and wheel this as well. Or get these later. I think this is the more valuable card, and we don't know what we're doing yet. I'm taking the Priest. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Maybe I could have used Tiny Dancer this week, but I just would have had to put Tony Danza in, right? Except then that's a known... That's a real person. I had to wait for the songs about real people week. All right. Wow, a lot of Roiling Regrowths. And a lot of red. Field Research here, though, sneaking in as a final blue card option if we want to stick with this. I'm a little uncomfortable that this is the last blue card. Feels like I need to read the table a bit here and see the red. I could take the Grotag Runner, Night Runner, over the field research on a hedge. Because if we abandon the abandon the blue, then red black red black party becomes a real possibility. Any thoughts? Curious if people are in for. I think it's if we take a red card, I think it's Grotag Night Runner because I think it goes well in a red black party deck. But we could also just stick with the field research. I think I'm going to take the field research because this is where I would rather start. I'm just nervous about what this signifies, what the signal is here. And I am going to try and pay attention, and it's not too late. I don't even think it'd be too late to pivot, although these two aren't good. This, and this are reasonable red cards. These two aren't that good. I'm going to take field research. We have a Skulker here we could grab. Zulport Duelist, I've come way up on, but I still think Skulker is better. I would want the Skulker first. Sproutling, super powerful. You don't like Skulker better? Jinx says Duelist. I am up on the Duelist, Jinx. I'm convinced, but I'm not convinced it's better than Skulker. You don't think you get Duelist all over the place too? I think you get both of these because they're not high picks, but they're both reasonable in the decks they belong in. This Sproutling is the best card in the pack and makes me a little sad. But hopefully we're sending somebody into green. I'm taking Skulk. It's also straight black, so if I continue to be worried about being in blue. Although that pack had some blue in it too, didn't it? I should have paid more attention to that. It had the Duelist, yes, but was there any? That was just the best blue card there. Yeah, Tazim Raptor is the best card in this pack. I'm not super interested in this particular rogue. I have kind of stopped seeing it almost. Does anybody play this ever? I tried it very early because we've seen some playability from this type of effect. I guess if you were in straight red, black party and really thought you were going to get 3 or 4 in your party, this could be worth it, right? But you really need to be doing the party thing. I think Anti-Cog is the pick here over Silencer. Yeah, if we were in red-black party, I might try the Silencer, but I'm going to keep taking blue cards, at least keep our neighbors downstream out of blue. Here we go. I like a Duelist, pick 8. And we're about to learn, we had, do you remember the 4 cards? Let's see, it was the Scion, the 2/1 Flying Rogue, the... I can't remember the other 2. Gloom Hunter, yeah. Jinx says Dancer will not wheel. Let's find out. But Jinx, I think you like rogues more than most, right? Haven't you been really in on rogues all along? I don't know if the rest of the world is where you're at. Jinx is sure. He's sure of one thing, and that's that Skydancer ain't wheeling. Yeah, I think you just like it more than most, and I don't think you're wrong, Jinx, necessarily. I think the strong Rogues deck is pretty good, but I don't think Skydancer is a contested card. It's kind of the point of Skydancer is to make it to my deck, Here we can take Highborn. We could hate draft a Broken Wings. They're main deckable, and we are going to be running significant flyers here. Actually, I like that. I'm going to take a Broken Wings from somebody. Hate these broken wings and never fly again. Hat's pressing the jukebox button today. And look, Windrobber came back. We're doing it, gang. Let's rogue it up. Risen Riptide is very good, but Windrobber is what I was hoping would come. That's right. I did. I need to revamp those lyrics. I don't think we're playing Utility Knife, but if it came to it and we were low down, you know, this is starting to look like the good rogues deck I had that didn't have any expensive stuff in it. Nectar Pot doesn't really matter to us. Barrage, these are both bad. Spell Shield last is nice. Shell Shield is great last. Don't know if we'll run it, but it's nice that it's there. Oh man, I saw Lol Mage's Domination and was cha-chinging because it's such a great card for this deck specifically. We also have a Skyclave Shade, which can win games on its own. We have a Skulker that might wheel. We have a Bubble Snare and a Deadly Alliance and a Domination and a Blood Priest that won't. Jinx says Domination easy, but Jinx, you also underrate this card too, I think. This card is bonkers. And I'm taking it. I was so excited to see this, Jinx. So excited. But I do believe this is the best card in this pack. And in an amazing pack. So we're going to take it, but that was a painful pack. We'll see what we get back from it, but ouch. Ouch to have to pass anything there. Falconer is just generally good, big and good, but we could take Subtle Strike or even Royal Mage. I almost want Subtle Strike more than Falconer in this particular deck. Falconer is a wizard. Royal Mage is a wizard too, but in Rogues, I really want to be low down tempo aggro, and Subtle Strike might be better for this deck than Falconer, which is weird for me. I'm not one to turn down air elementals, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. I do believe we can get these later. I shouldn't feel like just... I feel like I'm getting in a headspace. I had a very successful Rogues deck that had nothing above 3 mana, and so I think I'm like convincing myself to try and pursue that again. But I think that's not super realistic. I think Falconer is generally just too strong of a creature to pass, and Subtle Strike could work, could do exactly what we're trying to do, be tricksy in this deck. One of the things I like about Subtle Strike in this deck, like Hannah says Strike is only medium. Right, I get that it's medium, but consider its role in this deck. For one thing, I'm worried about, we have a lot of 1 toughness, and there's a lot of 1 toughness killing stuff. And we have things like Wind Robber, and we might end up with things like the Gloom Hunter that really wear +1/+1 counters well. So that's why it's so close to me. It's very specifically that it's very good in this deck. But I think I'm going to be the grown-up here and take the Falconer, knowing that a big top end is fine as well. Gosh, another Bubble Snare that I might have to give up here. A Royal Eruption we're going to have to pass here. But I haven't even taken a spell land yet, and this is a great one to pick up. The 5+ mana creature spell lands, I think, are excellent because they're in the right point on that tension curve. So let's take that wizard here and say a sad farewell to Bubble Snare. But since we're in blue-black, we hope to be able to pick up some removal from here. We don't have any premium removal yet, and that's concerning me. But this is too flexible a card for me to pass, I think. But we are on the lookout for classic, solid black removal. I wouldn't mind, like, the 2 mana, pay some life, get rid of anything, enchantment or creature, like that would be good. I think it's correct to grab, oh my, and I just called it. Like, here we go. Got another Spland. Even got Jace Mirror Mage. We cut blue hard, and there is a Jace. Is it worth running? I don't know how good Jace is. 4 mana, 4 loyalty, 3 mana Planeswalker, and pluses to scry. And if you kick it, so if you pay 5, you get a copy, and you scry, and good, not busted. I'll try it. Yeah. I'm going to take it. We're only in pack 2. We'll see. But I think we've cut our colors successfully, which is why our picks are hard in the second pack here. So it's a good thing. All this difficult picking is a sign that we are in the right place. And here we're going to take Acquisitions Expert, nice 2-drop rogue over this 3-drop rogue. Vanquish here is what we're talking about. Vanquish is, it's got dangers. It's not premium in the usual way, but it's got a lot going for it, and we're going to happily take it here. Just got to be careful when you cast it. Make sure they're not going to blow you out with a pump spell or whatever. You almost have to treat this like a combat trick. Or you got to constantly fear combat tricks. Just fear that blowout. Mine Carver. We do have a Mine Carver deck this time. And actually, I do like it better than the Seer or the Sneak. We'll take a Sneak if it comes around, but Carver, looks like we're building towards having a reasonable deck for it. Carver on Acquisitions Expert, even at bare minimum, turns it into a nice bear. And really the dream is Wind Robber and Duelist, having a reason to get these going. Let's do that. Another one, great. These get better in multiples. The more reliable they are as first turn plays, the better. I like a Royal Mage too, but I'm moving in here. We're gonna follow the plan. Bubble Snare here for us late. We're gonna take that over this Skulker, which would also be great. But hey, are we in the right colors, gang? Check out this pick 9. Like, I was sad that we had to pass this. We took the rare instead, right? We took or I took the wizard, something like that. Anyway, took something other than the bubble snare, and now happily slamming it. Look, it came back to us. Coming up, Millhouse. So that's where I took Falconer over Subtle Strike, and the Subtle Strike came back anyway, so maybe we cut Falconer after all, and are in a kind of tops at 3 rogue deck here. You're not happy to see that wheel, Jinx? If you're not happy about a pack 2 pick 9 bubble snare, we see the format differently. Glacial Grasp, I think, is actually more useful to this deck than Blood Beckoning, but I would love a Blood Beckoning too. So we're going to take Grasp. Dancer is fine here too. We're pretty vulnerable with a low toughness creature suite, but we are doing our thing, so I'm happy about that. Stalker. Last pick Stalker again says we're doing something right. Although this isn't at its best here. This really wants to be in blue-white party or something with a little wider breadth here than that. Are we taking anything but... Yeah, take another expert. And then what are we wheeling? We hope to wheel Skulker. I'd like to get Skulker on the wheel, but Field Research would be a happy wheel as well. More likely, Deliberate, Seer, Shield, and Mucklord will be around. Consumption. Sheesh. Well, it's only pick 2. If our neighbor isn't in white, they want to, it's everybody at the table against me. So if you were I guess if you were to my right, you might, or if you were passing to me, you might want to take it just to keep it out of my hands. Hate the Mall. Well, let's see what else we've got. What would we be giving up? We'd be giving up Feed the Swarm, though, for it. Is it worth it? Should we cut it? I'm gonna let somebody have the Mall. We'll lose to the Mall if we do, but I'm gonna take the card for our deck. I want a card that works for us in 7 games instead of to deny a card against us in 1 game. And then it's off consumption versus feed, but I'm too low on removal to go for these flip lands here. Mall is scary, but hey, I just want 1 win. Just give me 1 win, then we're good. Scion of the Swarm here is maybe a better... We're not really doing the Cleric thing. I don't know how we're gaining life to actually put counters on it. We may just want another Subtle Strike. I think you may be underrating it. It's a... Acquisitions Expert is a party creature type, and it's got 2 toughness. It's an upgrade over our old friend, Burglar Rat, and Burglar Rat's playable. Depends on what you can do with a body. You know, you're right, it's not an impressive body, but it doesn't need to be too impressive when it's stripped a card from your opponent's hand. So, you want one of the mages. Well, the only one that makes sense would be a Geyser Mage. I assume that's what you mean. Like, you would take the Geyser Mage. We could take a Geyser Mage. I don't know if it makes the cut. I think we actually just want a Subtle Strike. I think we are in a place where I'm probably going to top this out at 3. I don't know. Maybe we won't run the Falconer, but like the Scion doesn't get big enough for me to care. Like if I decide I want a 5-drop flyer, then we will just play the Falconer. So I'm going to take Subtle Strike. Another Field Research. Here's a Gloom Hunter. Here's a Vanquish. What do we want? What do we need? We really have a lot going on at 2 in the creatures, so I really do just want another Vanquish, I think. We're just going to top out with a Vanquish and rogue it up and go, go, go. Hey! I'm drafting! Yeah, we got some cuts to make now. Also, I'm most definitely not looking at chat much or at my meme panel much right now, but we'll get there. Heck, if MathCore is gonna think this long, I can do it here. What meme did you want? Oh, I see. Rob wants that one because it is a draft pick. It's still not even in this view. I have to go to my other draft view, but here, you can have it.
Grown-ups.
All right. And back to more awesomeness for green. Looks like there's a great green deck. Another Sproutling here for the green deck. We have another Bubble Snare, though. And another Grasp. We got to decide. We're going to have some tough cuts here, gang, which is good. But yeah, Snare is fine. And we might even wheel that 3rd Grasp. But Grasps are nice but cuttable. I think we have such density of quality here, like we're not going to even play we might not play our 2nd Grasp. We have Minecarver and Soaring Thought Thief as the primary 8 threshold graveyard reward. Utility Knife, obviously not playing. Probably not even playing that. Oh, we don't have time for that. Another snare. Just take a squid to add to the aggro, because this ultimately is an aggro deck. The squid's not the worst. And yeah, we may be at a place where I don't think we're playing any of this crazily enough. Like, maybe the squid we play. Yeah, anti-cog is technically a payoff there, so maybe we do play that. That's what I mean. This is just tough. That's why I don't think either of these are going to matter. The bubble snare is the best card in the abstract. We have 1, 2 bubble snares. We now have a feed the swarm, 2 subtle strikes, 2 vanquishes. So we don't, and so we have a lot of removal. Yeah, I'm going to take the squid based on need here. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think we need either. Mag, you would want, you're happy to run 3 bubbles in the context of what's going on here. I mean, it is cheap. It is some cheap removal, but that's a cheap beater too. I'm going to take the squid. Weird choice, but I am taking the squid in a last second. Fine, I'll do it. Now I practically just want to cut things. I don't think we're playing the first Falconer. Probably not playing the second. Thank you for this Wizard Nose with 12 months. Happy sub-anniversary, Wizard. Appreciate that. Yeah, like, if none of these are going to make the deck, we should just take Falconer from somebody else. Yeah, that's true. There are a couple of strikes. Do you think that's worth it? It's also something worth cutting. It's a pretty good blocker against our stuff. It might be better to even cut the Sentinel than to cut the Falconer in terms of defensive speed. All right. I think if we're playing the 2 subtle strikes, it's possible this makes the deck. Probably is not good enough anyway, but we'll take it in case. And then we get a Relic Golem that will make the deck. This thing's going to be a 3-mana 6/6 for the most part for us. That's a reward. Last chance too. Last chance for a nice payoff, and we got one. Probably, yeah, it means we're not playing this. Might not even play Jace. I kind of want to. People are saying Jace is good, but this deck is getting almost too good. I don't think Stalker is going to be good enough in this deck. Maybe it is, though. It does kind of finish it off. I don't think we want any of these. I don't think anybody's in Golgari. Jinx wants to take out the Carver. Interesting. It's the actual deck where it works. I think I'll start with it, Jinx, and if you prove right, we'll pull it later. Yeah, may as well. I think the Shell Shield is the best thing to take here. Skulker comes back to add to our embarrassment of riches. Only 1 duelist, but we did get one. You think we're mill? We don't have enough mill, do we? You think we're going to mill him out successfully? I think this is aggro with a mill backup plan. I should have. I'm kind of just taking stuff quickly, but given the in-pod play, I should be looking at counter drafting instead of taking things that I might not play per se. Here's another anti-cog. Maybe we'll take it and run all of that stuff. Well, I think this is it. I think we've got aggro rogues here, so I'm going to show you how I would do it. This is how we do it. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing that. This is my 5-drop creature, the one that can be a land if I need it to be. So on that front, I'm going to pull this up here. We didn't get any other ones, so we're pretty low on these. Yeah, I'm going to put it in for now, because if we're talking about tempo aggro jinx, then these are actually pretty great to slot in on turn 4. You know, we drop a Skulker and hold up anti-cog. Yeah, I had to pass Deadly Alliance for the Sicko Shade. I don't think we have room for Shell Shield in this tightly contested main deck. Probably not even Jacing. Might not even be field researching if I'm gonna... This is where I do like the graphs better, I think, with where we've ended up. Blood Priest isn't doing much, but it does give Acquisitions Expert an extra thing to look at. Scott Martin, thank you for the sub. Yeah, I'm suggesting not playing either, as you see. So, non-rogue number 1, non-rogue number 2. Thank you for that sub. Soaring Thought Thief is a rogue lord, right? When you do the thing. And yeah, I think we can let the squid go because we picked up another Skulker. I think, yeah, the 3 power is nice, but rogues will be 3 power that don't need landfall to attack when we have a Soaring Thought Thief going. Yeah, the experts are fine. They don't need the priest. And in terms of mana, I think we go 15 plus the wizard. So we're looking at 25. We need 2 more cuts here before I'm feeling like maybe I cut one cog and the blood priest. Yeah, this is 1 cleric at least. 1 wizard, but really this is about rogues. Yeah, I guess we can bench the priest. That's fair. So then we bench the priest, and then we're looking at anti-cog. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 creatures with a Umara wizard. Thanks, Tron. Close. Well, let's export. Want this, though. I want 8 and 8. And hop over to deck building and at least see what that brings. I got to update my bling catalog. We've gotten a lot of bling since I took those photos, so maybe I'll do that this weekend. Get a little audio. Yeah, we can still make some changes here. There's a lot of desire to see Jace, it sounds like. Actually, I'll wait on the lands till somebody redeems it. If you're gonna redeem now, or I'm gonna come up with lands. So yeah, there's some desire to see Jace. We could cut one of these Glacial Grasps and try Jace. I would be willing to do that. I really do like the Glacial Grasp in the deck, though. And I like the strikes. I guess we are lowish enough on creatures that we could consider not doing the Subtle Strike, but I think it's ultimately too good with our small stuff and does what we need. Yeah, this is a 16 land deck with the wizard. Full art ZNR for the Jinx. How about this one and this one? You want the Whirl Blue? Sorry, I didn't get your specifics. Is this okay? I hope so, because I don't want to go back and change it. We are, what are we calling this deck now? Miller Time, 8 beers, 8-pack. How about 8-pack? Because, like, we're milling, Miller Time 6-pack, but we want to get 8 milled, so... Aggro Rogues is too on the nose. And do this. Calling it 8-pack. All right. Well... I'll be surprised if I don't get a win today, honestly. It's going to take some bad luck. I'm not saying I'm going 7-0 or anything, but I think this deck, if anybody stumbles and we get a decent draw, we should be able to come up with a win. At least one. Save my hair for the week. That's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. We got my first opponent coming up, and that is Tron. If it wasn't for luck, I'd win every hand. Tron has 2 roosts. Well, I know that they can see my deck. I suppose since everybody can see mine, it doesn't really matter if you spoil an opponent's deck here or there. We're going to keep this and go Wizard first, Expert second, Dancer third, and then try to do some Duelist stuff after that. That makes sense. We should be in the right scene. We could not play the Wizard land and try to use it later, but we have kind of just the right start here going. I'm not going to risk it. We're going to be grown up. Oh, okay. Yep, Jinx pointing out one of the benefits of Strike and the Duelist, that the 2 subtle strikes and the Duelist both reduce power, which can be used in conjunction with our 2 Vanquishes to take out take out a bigger creature. With the drawing of the Wind Robber, instead of Acquisitions Expert, we can just go Wind Robber and have Duelist up. I don't know if we're going to play the Duelist, but Expert I like playing a little bit later when their card count is lower, and Wind Robber is an evasive 1 power versus a ground 1 power. So I'm going to play a second blue source, drop the Wind Robber, and then telegraph to Tron that we have the Duelist, because it's hard not to. We're going to feed the Swarm and play and have Duelist ready for next turn. Yeah, it could be a chill trap thought potentially, but a little more. Well, actually, now with anti-cog, I think we hold that for a counter and then save the feed. We can let the fledgling grow a little bit. If the fledgling gets the feed doesn't. The feed looks at CMC, so the fledgling growing doesn't even make this more painful later. And we might be able to snag something. And if we don't need to, we still have Sky Dancer. So we have a lot of instant speed action here in Duelist, Sky Dancer, and Anti-Cog. Well, looks like we're going to get hit for a lot, for one turn anyway. But then we set Tron back pretty well after this. With the Feed the Swarm, unequipping the Cleave. And maybe, like, I kind of like Duelist here to reduce damage a little bit and let us keep cracking back the other way and milling them, getting us towards our 8. So I'm going to do that. We still can Sky Dancer doesn't block. You like Dancer? I think that we still want the anti-cog. So I think we're going to be anti-cogging here myself. But we could take 2 to give ourselves the option. I'm fine with that. I think we might be, but here's why not. I mean, this is why I ultimately relented to chat's line, because I couldn't guarantee it. And without a guarantee, I should give myself a chance to be able to play the Sky Dancer. Now if we draw a basic land, we can feed and hold up anti-cog, which would be kind of perfect. No such luck, but drawing the Skycleave Shade is not a bad backup plan. Yeah, if we're worried about shelter, it's fine. I mean, they're going to get another hit in anyway. I'm gonna go Shade and Duelist, and this time do it to save mana if need be, because there is no anti-cog coming after this. But the constant pausing here certainly suggests Tron is protecting that fledgling. But if Tron wants to hold up 2 mana constantly to protect the fledgling, I believe we can deploy enough threats to race that. Depends on what he comes up with here. I'm going to go for some damage reduction and potentially get Tron to play the shelter, but I don't think so. He's not going to do that for this. Great looking deck. I was really worried about the green deck because we were passing some incredible green. We got our 4th land. Let's start with an attack. It is a big baby griffin, but look what we're doing. So maybe it was takedown this whole time. Oh, and if landfall doesn't work for me... Oh, yeah, so that's something of note. I misplayed by playing a land out pre-combat, because now I have to wait for another land before I can replay Shade. If I had... because Cog is creature only. If I had held the swamp, I would at least have the option of recasting this now. So, too bad, but I actually don't mind because it hides our anti-Cog a little bit. Can't replay... What swarm am I... What do you mean we can't replay it anyway? Yeah, we're going to try Swarm. It might get countered, but we're going to try. I'm just saying... if we had waited, we could also try and replay the Shade. All right. Yeah, Tron got us, but that's darn good for us. Tron at 9, we now have a hard counter. So if Tron tries to come back with a creature, we just straight counter it. No, I'm not doing Acquisition Expert because this is turned on. We're there. We have counter that spell Scry 2 right now. Just so, well, they tapped out. Tron tapped out, so this would have worked even without the 8. But that's going to be very good for us and should make it tough for Tron. We're not out of the woods yet, but that's a... And now we can go Expert. Like with this on top, we can go Skulker, Expert, and have a 2-spell turn as well. So I like that. Yeah, land on top is fair. I should have left the land because I forgot about Shade. But we'll find a land anyway. It might not matter. Yeah, I totally forgot that. I should have kept the land. But I still like where we're at. And I still would put this on top. I just shouldn't have binned the land. If I could do it over again, I would put the swamp behind, I think. Or maybe on top. Maybe go ahead and play that now. Let's attack first. Why before swing? Because if for somehow Tron does something for 1 green mana, then Tron has even fewer cards to choose from when we make a discard. Maybe I'm missing what your line is on that, Jinx. And I guess we'll start here, though. No, don't need to show them this info before making the decision around the expert. We're just hoping to be wide enough to get there, you know? Swinging away from here. And as I said, mostly this is going to be a 3-mana 6/6 for us. If we get it super early, it's not. But mostly we're going to have them at 8 in the yard. And we have landfall to replay our friend here as well. Could even kick it, right? But I like unkicked and relic golem after attack. Yeah, we could kick the shade, but I like 2 spelling. Basically, after we get some damage in here, the 6/6 and the 3/1 should both be lethal, right? Well, it depends on what Tron has got for the 2 mana. And there is an 8-mana sweeper, but Tron is far away from that, so we are going to do unkicked shade plus golem. I think we got him. Is my hair safe? 1 more week of hair? Ooh, that's pretty good. Is that enough, though? This becomes a must chump. This is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think it's enough. I think we still get Xaxes here. I haven't turned on emotes before playing against friends. Oh, yeah, sorry. Everything's wrong about my record. Let me fix it. Here. I don't want to be like, I feel like, okay. I feel like if I was going to put in 1, if I put in the 1 there, I was going to miss something and lose. I didn't want to jinx myself. 1 jinx around here is enough. And yes, I get to celebrate with this.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Yeah, Tron just hammered away and hoped you couldn't round that corner. Good game. I don't think I ever opened that menu mid-game without hovering over the concede button. I've clicked it once, but mostly I don't click it. Mostly I don't click it. Once I did. That was the plan. Mill your good stuff. Let you draw your bad stuff. All right, next up, it's going to be Mr. Grim Pac-Man. Oops. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot that expert meme, and I'll give it to you for free. Late, but better late than never, right? Hold on. Let me challenge first. Then you can have it. Still getting used to all of my available new memes, because... Where did it even go? Here it is. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
Oh, you had one? Great. We beat the mall deck, everybody. Like, we were trying to decide whether to hate that or not. And I was like, I'd rather take this removal from my deck rather than worry about one powerful card in another deck that we might not even see. Oops, that's not what I want. Yeah, we almost didn't, but then we're like, certainly wasn't going to go in our deck. Nothing doing here on black yet, but I think we can keep this. We have got a Wind Robber to start on, and a Jace on 3, and if needed, a Bubble Snare on 2 with a Wizard Land on 2. Another Wind Robber is interesting too. That's now our new turn 2 play. We go Wind Robber number 1. Next turn we drop Wizard Land plus Wind Robber number 2. It's a beast. And then that's, well, not a 6/6 for 3 yet. Not a bad 3. I don't know if we'll play it though. Nice mill, although no black yet. Looks like maybe white's the splash here. We could snare. We could just mirror mage. I like Relic Golem. And then next turn we can even go like, well, do we want to bot? Like, I kind of just like playing the Relic Golem when it's active, you know, playing this later. That could mean Mirror Mage, but then we don't have it kicked. If we do this, are we going to block the Pack Beast? I don't think so. So I am going to play the Relic Golem over like Bubble Snaring the Pack Beast. You would play Jace? I think Jace is too vulnerable on this board. I'd rather play the Golem and attack.
The Mind Sculpture.
Secret power of the Relic Golem at the lower levels is some players don't read it and think it can block. I had one player when I had Relic Golem never attack into it because they thought it was presumably they thought it could block. So here's why, you know, now we can go Bubble Snare the Pack Beast, no new creatures out, then Jace, and feel like it's pretty safe. But we're also then, you know, one away from kicking Jace, so there's that as well. We can just go Bubble Snare, activate Golem. The reason to not play Jace is to try and wait to kick Jace, but that could be greedy play. Could be fancy play syndrome, and we're just happy to Jace it up here, plus to scry and snare the beast. And it's true, finding black mana would not hurt. Although it's not even, I'm not too worried about that right now. Interesting. Some different takes. Some different takes. Snare and Mill 2 versus Jace. I think we're close enough to kicking Jace, and we're close enough to being fine with this board that I'm going to do the Snare and Mill plan. No, we'll mill later. We'll keep up threatening-looking activated abilities. What was aggro? My play? One, two, so 6. Ooh, and close to the 8. We'll have 8 next turn, but don't have the 5th mana yet. I'm going to attack Wind Robber at least. Well, the idea of snaring the Pack Beast is that if we came up with a 5th land and kicked Jace on this board, we would be in really great shape. That was what I was thinking. But I think I'm going to make Pac-Man deal with my 6/6 that's going to be ready to attack next turn. Yeah, we do have potential instant speed mill here. So I'm going to be patient again. And the Golem with the tap ability is providing all the disguising pauses we need so that Pac-Man doesn't know what we have in our hand. Yeah, it's clear Pac-Man's missing land. It seems like this was the splash, although I don't know. It just looks like maybe it's just a clean 3-color. Well, I don't know about clean, but looks like a 3-color deck. 3/3? Yeah. Need our swamp. If we get a swamp, I'll skip Mirror Mage for now and go Vanquish on Captain. And we got it, so I'm going to do that. Tapped out. Good spot. Seagate. Well, this is where we wouldn't mind something like our Rogue or a Subtle Strike, something to win combat against the Colossus, although we can really stick to the air here if Pac-Man doesn't find something else for the air. Second Swamp. We can do the Mirror Mage thing, but we can also just drop 2 creatures now. Maybe it's worth it with Pac-Man at 9 to just offer the Golem trade and then get there with Dancer. But maybe we don't need to bother offering. We can just mill with the Golem and have that be our alternate win con here. So I like that. Yeah, Skulker is a good block on Colossus, so no need to do that. And adding another flyer in the air is great. Well, I can see why Pac-Man ended up 3-color. Got good fixing with 2 dual lands. That is a nice draw too. Makes us need to find something. I kind of want to give up the Wind Robber now. Can't really attack into that. I guess maybe it should chump, though, and then draw us a card. I'm not going to do it for a card and no other value. I'm not going to sack it now, Jinx. I'm going to wait because the way that Pac-Man wins is actually by getting there with aggro Shepherd. So let's prevent 3 damage and draw a card. Hey, that's nice too. Now maybe, well, at 14 cards, maybe this is the way we end up getting there. It's funny, I can't find a window where I want to play this Jace because of the other things we end up having to do. Free attacks with Skulker, but then Colossus has reasonable attacks back, and I don't want to... I guess we could chump with the Wind Robber in that case. Yeah, that's true. We could kick and find a land. Hold the Thought Thief. All right, I like that line. I want to try Jace anyway. Probably want to leave blue. You like pass and double flash. There's a lot of different options here, but I'm kind of into checking out the Jace. So I'm going to do it. My hair's already safe. Let's experiment.
I can't resist a good riddle.
So how does this work? 0 is draw a card and reveal it. So we want a plus on the 1 loyalty Jace and 0 on the other one.
At least I look like I know what I'm doing.
Interesting. The swamp in the mine. I think we want both. Mine Carver is a nice way to get this done, and swamp is what we wanted to have Thought Thief ready. Nice. It's a lot of loyalty, and we have great ways to defend. Here, let me get out of the way of the Planeswalker action today. I'll go hang out over here. Kind of zooms it a little bit here, but I think with Jace this will be better. Do we want to activate? Well, Thought Thief does something similar, right? I mean, Thought Thief, but I guess we can do that on our turn for the same effect, so sure, I'll mill. Still have blocks I'm willing to take here. Can't sack now and still have Death Touch, but looks like we don't have to worry about that. They only attacked with the Shepherd. Not with the Planeswalkers out, Jinx. Is it? Sorry, it's bugging you, but I want people to be able to see the loyalty. So we can go Thought Thief before combat if we want to. but do we even do anything with a Mine Carver? Library's at 18. Oh, sorry, library's at 9. Their graveyard's at 18. And Thought Thief attack mills them 2. Yeah, we can do this stuff first, right? All right, let's start there. Yeah, Bubble Snare. We don't need any more land, though, now, right? So, Bubble Snare, yes. Very nice for one point of loyalty. And we could snare the Colossus and have clean attacks. And then, yeah, we don't care about the Shepherd that much. We can play Sky Dancer and Thought Thief to defend. I'm going to kick first and then play Thought Thief to generate mill. And we can even have the Mine Carver after that. Do we want to put the Mine Carver on the Skulker, though? Might want to just put the Mine Carver on the Thought Thief itself. I think I'm going to do that. Like, we throw, if we throw it, although we have enough mana to move it around, too. It's only 3, so whatever. I'll put it on the Skulker now, and we'll move it next turn. We're not blocking the Shepherd anyway. And that's hefty. 6 damage. Banrat's kind of got a chump here. And let's see, are we rummaging at all? I don't think so. We're not really doing looting much. I'm going to play this because I can't think of what we're looting with, but let me know if I'm wrong. And we are going to like move equipment around and stuff, so I want mana. I think if they go for one of our Jaces, at this point I let them have Jace. Yeah, it's true. Milling the milling Carver would be worthwhile.
I overanalyze the situation.
We're still good. Like, we have Sky Dancer that we can equip with Mine Carver, and we have the Vanquish for the Shepherd. So let's do that. Although I should at least scry first. We could draw, but I'm going to scry.
Solving mysteries is my specialty.
I think we want to grasp. Help us get through. We'll keep both. Yeah, Duelist is going to save our Skulker from the Blade. We can swing before the Vanquish. The Vanquish is going to be used for the hero anyway. Five cards in library, so mainly we're trying to stay alive. But this is fine too. We have the tools. Rocket's got opinions. So now we like, how do you want to do this? We can go Vanquish. Now we have to Vanquish Farsight, or we can just accept this trade. We might just accept the trade. We have Sky Dancer. Like, so what do we want? Dead? I think we want the 3-power dead over the 1-power because we can save the Duelist for that. Oh yeah, both die. Never mind. Sorry, I was thinking about toughness, not power. I was thinking about my 3 toughness. So now we have everything else at instant speed and can just pass it. You want to do it now? Yeah, I guess there's enough stuff going on in white that you want to vanquish while they only have 1 mana. between pump and protection. These two mill the 4 there, so we should just win anyway. All right. Yeah, I guess we see where all of my deadly alliances went.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Welcome to Miller Time. It's brewed here. It's yours and
Good game. Yeah. Gosh, getting milled out feels awful. Sorry. Not even sorry, not sorry, just sorry. Who's next to face Miller Time? I didn't rub anything. That was somebody else redeeming a meme. Math Core's turn up. Oh, Jinx, sure. That's the worst. When you need something very specific, you're up against mill, and they keep milling the specific thing you need. Ugh. I hate myself today. But I'm gonna hate myself with my hair intact, so I'll take it. All right, can keep this. Don't know if we bother with a turn 1 duelist. I think of it more as a combat trick. In fact, I'm going to play Swamp to disguise it. I will lead on Expert on 2, though. I'll take any discard that Appa would like to give us here.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
Yep, we got a nice Windrake on 3. Largely for us, it is a Windrake, to be honest. It's going to do some things like help our second Expert or whatever, but mostly we have ourselves here a 2/2 for 3 flying. Let's see, if they have a duelist of their own, we don't get destroyed by it. Barons is real tough, and we gotta get going. Which ones are you thinking about? Combat tricks like the subtle strike? I mean, yeah, early on we can wreck a Baron, but if the Baron attacks for the first time is an 8/8 with 4 mana still left, then I don't know what our combat tricks do. That's why I just say I think we need to just beat him down and get him dead before that thing becomes the real threat it can be. Yeah, Jinx, I suppose if Math Core takes those risks and activates a Baron into our 3+ open mana, or, you know, if we want Subtle Strike plus Vanquish, we're talking like 5 open mana. I just don't think they're gonna do that. No seconds given. I win this one too. Next game. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. There, yeah, the math is it's finally broke him down. I've like happens with me a lot, Hat. I got through about 4.5 songs on the new album, then got derailed in life and haven't gone back to it yet. So artists should make EPs. Then I would be able to listen to them. If everything was EP length. All right, Glacial Grasp, okay too, but with Math Core on no board presence, we're going to drop. Well, we're close to kicking it. So actually, I'm going to wait, because if they do find a creature, we can still grasp it on their turn and untap and kick the Mirror Mage, and then that's going to be great for us. And we have a Duelist here if they come up with a flashy flash. I can't remember what it might be, but Duelist of their own, sure. Save some damage, but mainly nothing can be eaten here. And we actually have Grasp plus Duelist of our own to eat Math's Duelist if it works out. We're going to try. Why not? Yeah, Death Touch Skulker Block and Baron is probably our best shot at managing that card in a late game situation. Hoping to see another creature here that we can grasp. And then kick a Jace. All right, not a creature yet. Don't think we have any Into the Royals or anything. Yeah, we don't. So I think that's just gone for good. And we unfortunately don't get to grasp anything of Maths, but we have no creatures threatening the kicked Jace anyway. So we're still in a good spot as far as that goes. We just didn't spend 3 mana this turn, which is not ideal. Wizard is interesting and something to do next turn, but we are going to get a kicked Jace going while Oppo is both tapped out and not pressuring us with anything. And now I kind of understand the sequencing on Jace a little better, having played him for the first time last game. We scry with the small, look for something cheap, and then decide if we're going to pay loyalty to draw that. Do you think it's worth bringing the other one down to 1 to draw one of these to get extra? I mean, I think we like both. I'm going to put Vanquish on top. I think that's going to be a hot spell to have access to. But we can scry again. We just leave him. We can just leave him there. All right. So then I'm gonna scry just to get loyalty.
I love learning.
And I'm gonna hope there's no haste. So here, grasp. I guess we're going to do our Jace plan, though. We know what's on top. I would actually like a... we could grasp and then Jace looking for land. We know what's on top, and I want it. But then underneath, I want land. So I'm going to start... This is an aggressive grasp. Usually I grasp on Oppo's turn, but in this case, I'm going to do it here. I got a plan.
The next puzzle.
Ooh, anti-cog. I guess we could... Now I kind of want to bin the Dancer and put... Or at least put Dancer underneath and just draw anti-cog. I don't know if we'd want to even draw a dance. I think we just don't want Dancer. We want pressure here. And then drawing anti-cog for 2 loyalty seems worth it. Yeah, I get it. Sure, it's revealed, but let's make him play around it. Sometimes the counter staring him in the face is fine. I'm actually not going to worry about the Barons. Or should I? Should we worry about the Barons? Like, ultimately we need to be working on life totals. If Math wants to spend the whole turn attacking with the 2/2 Barons, isn't that okay? I think that's okay. So I'm going to attack. And if that's how Math wants to play around the known anti-cog, I'm fine with it. No, it makes a 2/2, and I've got I've got 2 3 loyalty Jaces, although 1 less now, thanks to Into the Royal. But see, I think we're still fine, because now we have Vanquish, a couple of Sky Dancers, Anti-Cog. We'll just get some scrying going on here. Couple of Swamps. I think I want 1, but not 2. So we can 2-spell potentially next turn with Vanquish and Sky Dancer, or double Sky Dancer. And you could play Wizard here, and that's not unreasonable as well, but I still want to keep the anti-cog up, because maybe Math plays around it, and then, haha, we still drop our Dancer, and it's pretty good. And if Jace gets taken out here, I'm fine with that too. Jace did good work for us and can go away now. Thanks, Jace. They've got 7 in the yard here. Soon to be over threshold.
Good thing I'm the illusion. Or am I?
Yeah, they might think that they can hold up the 2. Yeah, so we kind of get Math here by going in this sequence. Now, at 3 mana, we could even Vanquish it, but Math would draw off of that, so we're going to be Trixie instead. Ooh, we wanted that, but now that we've pulled off that play, do we still want that? Because Wind Robber... maybe we don't even want the land anymore. We have Wind Robber plus Vanquish or Sky Dancer. I like that. Could even play the Wizard here, but we could leave up Vanquish. I don't know, what do you think? Wizard? I'm gonna play Wizard. It's big. You like leaving up new Dancer? I don't know, I'm playing Wizard. We Vanquish something, it flies for 4, that's awesome. Well, we're not vanquishing that currently. Maybe find a Death Toucher. Hey, I got something else we can do with that, though. It doesn't make the Wizard fly. To that end, we could just send the Dancer and make more flying stuff. Right? Do we even care? Maybe I don't care. I'm just supposed to play... Heck, maybe I'm supposed to vanquish my own 2-drop to draw a card, because, like... Oh, another non-token, never mind. I wouldn't draw a card there, but... You want to trade and snare? That is pretty good. And then if we If Math wants to block a duelist or an expert for 4 damage, we would take that as well. Interesting line choices, but this does feel pretty good to me. This forces the wizard out of commission, and we have 2 flyer. We have 5 points of flying, 5 power of flying that we're gonna bring to bear here on a 4 life, and with the Vanquish backing that up, I think we'll get there. I think we only draw if it's a cleric, and we don't really have any other clerics. Yeah, it looks like Vanquish lethal here, unless Math wants to drop, yeah, just the Protector. Makes sense that he would. But I do like Vanquish Dancer up. Hi, Catzilla. Kicked colony. No, not kicked. Well, looks like we got it. There's our low mage domination.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right. It's doing its thing. Time to take on Media, aka Jedi Dawn. If I go 7-0, I get to decide some other condition on that whole bet. But much like when I tell you not to worry about 7-0 when we're only 3 games in, I'm not worried about that now either. It's very unlikely that I go 7-0 today. It's a hard thing to do. Y'all are good. Oops. Looks good. Little removal heavy, creature light, but I'm still keeping. Even duelist is kind of a removal. Maybe I didn't see, but that would be impressive. We'll decide on the duelist if we. I don't think we're going to run it out there, but we have a very slow start for our tempo deck here. Could make a case for running the duelist out, but I don't think it's a good one. Ultimately, we have a fistful of removal. I know we don't get to mill, but we will eventually. I'm gonna just vanquish this now. We could feed it, I guess. Feed gets anything, but it gets more and more expensive, more and more painful to do so. But Vanquish uses all our mana and uses a more restrictive card in terms of what it can get. You want Vanquish on their turn, but why are we doing it there in case they equip up or something? Yeah, I guess Mainly deciding when to do a thing like this depends on how an opponent can react based on the colors they have, and red and black cannot respond to a Vanquish with anything super significant, although one problem is that we do give Media a chance to respond with +3/+2 combat tricks. So there's a real risk, and if Jedi's big play is equipment on Bug Catcher, then I kind of like that we disrupt it anyway. It may be more important to play around Pump than it is to try and get Media with equipment. So that's the push and pull, and I'm going to do it now. Whoa, hello. Am I with you? I'm hearing sound effects, but I can't see anything on my screen. Y'all hearing this? What is going on? I'm gonna quit and restart. Something's going on. So it sounds like maybe we got roped even, and I'm losing on rope here. That'd be a sad way to take my first loss. Well, even if we got clocked and passed, we should still have... Wait a second. What was all that noise then? What is even going on here? Oh, I successfully cast it? What a weird sequence. While we were away, I guess I successfully cast Vanquish the Week. That's funny. So... this plus feed. We could also Jace plus... But we have kick Jace next turn, so I'm going to go feed here. We don't even need a feed, really. I don't even want to feed that. But we have Bubble Snare, so I will. We have more removal. We'll play the attrition game here. I like feeding because it's a low pain, you know. Yeah, it doesn't hurt us quite as much. We could now Bubble Snare it since it's returning tap. So I think I'm going to do both. And then we have the kicked Jace next turn. Well, never mind. However, we get this one at least.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel.
Wow, Subtle Strike's Jedi's worst card. Great. Good to know. We're not getting Jedi with Duelist since it was a known card anyway, so going to reduce some damage. I was just going to say, Expedition Skulker can still get us out of this with a Death Toucher, and only one card left for Media, but with the discard of the Subtle Strike, we know this is a card that is better than Subtle Strike. We can't be like, maybe Media has land. Media does not have land. Media has a better than Subtle Strike card in hand. However, we're going to keep doing what we can, which is swing with what we've got. Just so. Another one? Here's where Vanquish... if I'd known this was coming, I would have held off on the Duelist, right? We could have done the play Jinx was talking about. Duelist, shrinking this to a 3/4 and then killing it. As it is... we are racing against something we can't race very well. One question is, do we leave back a chump this time? I know that red obviously has haste. It's possible we could lose to some top deck, but Jedi has no cards in hand. I'm going to attack once more and then start the chumping. Maybe we'll find something to answer the Minotaur off the top, and then we won't have to chump our creatures. If we get another bubble snare, these could actually help us win the game, you know? So we're going right up to the edge, waiting as long as possible. Vanquish. We're going to go ahead and vanquish the Electromancer. Even Subtle Strike wouldn't do it, though, because Subtle Strike can't make this... It might allow us to double block and kill it, but it's not going to make the Vanquish trick work. So I'm going to use Vanquish now. Yeah. We still have Subtle Strike for the block and kill. Jinx... Not jinxing us, Jinx calling for the thing that can actually help us. Jinxing Jedi Dawn, am I right? And let's see, we'll put it on the do list because then it survives, right? Oh, maybe they all die. Never mind. They all die, but still, they all die at least. All right, top deck in time. I'm going to hold my swamp. If we find our rare... Well, now we're the ones getting danced out of the sky. All right. No sweep for me. Like I said, I don't worry about 7-0s until we're like on match 6. Good deck from Media. Next up, Meanthril. Is this where I start 3-0 and then end up 3-4? It's happened before, I think, or it keeps coming. I think at least twice I've started 3-0 and then had a 3-3 match on the 7th game. So we'll see. And this is a tough one. Swap an island for a swamp, and I'm fist pumping this hand. As it is, we got a call to make. Because if we do find a swamp in like the first 4 turns, 4 is a long time. If there's a swamp in the top couple, we are looking good here. But I should be a grown-up and not risk that. If we don't find a swamp very quickly, this hand is a bust. It does nothing. All right, well, we can keep this and have the wizard. That's good. And I'm going to be greedy, I think. Ditch the swamp. We play blue, we play black, and then we have a bunch of 1s and 2s that we can actually cast. So we preserve our low-down approach here. Not when everything is so cheap. I like Expert here. Well, you can only really play 1 blue card a turn. These do the same amount of damage. There is a reasonable argument for the Wind Robber. And then next turn we can do Expert Mind Carver. We can do that next turn anyway. Yeah, we can just do Wind Robber Carver now, but then I kind of like Expert now, next turn expecting to feed Wind Robber, and then the turn after that, Carver. So I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to actually Expert now. It kind of maxes the mana.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
Naya. Not expecting to see Might of Marasa as the option to discard. And actually I have actually looked up and I'm trying to get pronouns when possible. Meanthril is him. So if Meanthril plays a creature, we're happy to feed it. If they don't, well, if he doesn't, now we kind of actually, well, we can still do Wind Robber Carver here. We'll do that. And I do like it on the evasive threat, not playing it on the expert. Although we set ourselves up, I don't know what's, there's the land that deals 1 that we could be playing into, but we had to take some risks and throw this out there, see what happens. Ooh, there was a pause, so I'm a little nervous. The possibility of Spikefield Hazard says maybe you put it here, but thing is we just re-equip, right? We have 4 mana and a couple of small cards, so even if we get, quote, blown out here on the equip, it's not that big a deal. Like, well, I like snaring that, although problem with snaring it is that it stays around for the landfall trigger and might do more than 4 to us by the end of the game anyway. If they end up with 8 lands in play, for example. I do want to get it out of the way now. How about... I mean, it's probably not going to hurt us. And snare uses all the mana. Tough call. Yeah, let's just do feed, though. Three in the yard now. Duelist makes 4/5. Scythe Kitty. That's a better snare target, because as long as it stays tapped, we don't care that it's getting bigger. Do we duelist now, given our expected next turn? I'm going to say yes. We want to get this library to 8 and turn on this Mind Carver, and actually the 1 point of aggro matters given the size of our current army and the state of things. So we're going to duelist for less value than I usually like with this card, but I think it's correct in this spot given our plans. Yeah, we'll save the expert. Let's kick the snare here and then get a last, probably decent card next turn out of with the follow-up expert. Six in the yard now. How about our uncommon? Signpost Gold card. No such luck. However, only rogues out here as well, so we're not going to get... We only get one of these cards, but that's good. Let's start there. Hellion gone. So something better than Hellion still left in hand. Hopefully it's something the Skulker can block and kill, although Charger is also worrisome on that. Although we could, yeah, we can't even really send on the ground because Charger blocks, kills, and kills our Wind Robber, which is our primary, you know, right now plan A is 5 more attacks with Wind Robber. Not 5 more now. We got our threshold, so have that. We just need 2.5 attacks. All right, they got that, unfortunately. We get to draw a card, though, and we get to re-equip the Mind Carver elsewhere, so this isn't the worst. Hey, speaking of things we could put on Mind Carver onto, how about Skyclave Shade? So, for now, yeah, we could just kick this Shade. Let's do that, right? I like sending in and offering. No, I gotta play the land because I'm gonna kick it. Yeah, but we'll save land for the future, Rob. I will try and remember not to run it out there. Like, Tron got me because I missequenced earlier today, but I'm gonna remember this time. And so if we send in, Charger can trade for literally any of these. We assume that this is probably some removal. This, or was it the Thundering Rebuke? I guess the Rebuke was the saved card, right? Was the card that was better than... So maybe this could even just be a land. I'm going to send in, let Meanthril do his worst, wreck us up real good, and then drop a Sicko Shade. Mm-hmm. Nice. Give a nice on that one. Maybe that's what they kept. But here we go. We found our land. This is why this card is so busted. Jinx, you coming around on this thing yet? Card is busted. It's bad on defense, I grant you that. If you're on the back foot, it's not going to help. But if you're doing any kind of... If you have any kind of stability... I mean, they need 6 toughness before this can be held back. And then throw this on it, and they need more. Never didn't. Always the plan.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Survived an excellent Cinderclasm thanks to the rare bomb we snagged. Shade did something in one of our other wins. Jinx has his blinders on with regards to the quality of that Shade. Who's next? Flope. Alucardio, aka. We might have points, Jinx. It's possible we have points. Cool. We can keep this. We'll use Wizard as blue. Get an expert on 2. Even carve it up if nothing else to do. Cool. We'll expert right now.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah, we're 4-1. Ideally, experts come when there's a couple cards left in hand and you get both of them, but I'm not running it out. I'm not going to hold it if I don't have anything else to do on 2. It's a fine 2-drop. That's a worthy vanquish target. And I'm going to just... I mean, yeah, this kind of makes this whole deck go, so I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to vanquish now. Maybe I do wait 1 turn, though. The reason I'm thinking about it is because, like, if we wait, I can go Sky Dancer, and then next turn... Carver the Sky Dancer attack and have Vanquish. So, and I'm also going to attack here and see if Alucardio is willing to make a block. Gaitsu doesn't want to wait. I think we can wait. I'm going to be greedy and wait 1 turn. But I do think that thing needs to die. Vanquish a 3-3 and wins the race sounds good until we're suddenly like, oh my god, 3 celebrants, he's gaining 3 a turn. You know, it's just like, I don't know if I want to risk that. I think I'm going to go with my plan here. We can grasp the Adept to help the race and whatnot. But I am vanquishing that Celebrant. Oh, as you say, gotta be practice tactics. No other 1 mana instant. Snare that, grasp that, no problem. Vanquish that, snare that, grasp that, equip that. In this case, kick snare on Angel, though, is what I'm going to do. Sliding back in the race here a bit. That's not great, but we're doing what we can. And I'm not blocking with the expert, so I'm attacking. Okay, let's snare the Adept that's already tapped, vanquish the Scion, and we are close to being able to re-equip Carver. Oops, I meant to vanquish, sorry. It's all right, we'll vanquish later, but, well, now the Scion might grow. That was just me grabbing the wrong the wrong 3-mana instant. It was a misgrab. Let's see how badly it costs us. Yep. Although, look, we do get to vanquish the Shepherd, so we were going to get a flyer one way or another, but I'd rather have the flyer that can grow, for sure. I mean, it was not my intended play. It's up to you whether you want to call it a punt. Chat defines punts, not me. I mean, I offer my opinions, but you all control it. Kind of worked out. I actually think we're in a bad spot here. We're up against a 4-power flyer that can potentially keep growing pretty easily in a deck like this. And we're behind in the race as it is. Subtle Strike is interesting, but doesn't really help us in the race against the Scion because they're not blocking. But we'll send in and see if we can't find something from here yet. Yeah, if we draw another Vanquish before it grows, we can do the trick and get it shrunk. But, I mean, we need to find something, anything. How about another Bubble Snare? Oh, we don't have 3, though. We had a chance at 3 and then declined. All right, anyway. Skulker. Well, we're not dead, but that doesn't help. I have never yelled, Rob. I said I've offered my opinions. Maybe once or twice I have done the unpunt command, but my unpunt command to Ryan got punted ratio is not even close. All right, we're looking for top deck to not... Well, now we're just dead. All right. I'm going to give... Alucardio credit for attacking with both. Yeah, flying 2-1 also would have been an out. Had some outs, could not find them. Alucardio found a turn shaver, which is to say, got me a turn earlier than I thought I was going to die. But I was very specific with my words, Rob. I said you control the punts. I didn't say you are immune from me hearing my opinions on them. All right, well, I've got the week. Wouldn't mind 5 wins. We've ridden it close every week. Seems to be close every week. And our last opponent, I forget who it is. Jank in the Tank. I hope it is Jank in the Tank, and I come away with 5. Let's see. Tired of these 4 3s. Let somebody have a nice, solid win. Could even be you all. Let's win 5 times and I'll take you to the store, but hasn't happened. It's looking good, and we're on the play. I like it. Mill. 6-6 for 3. All right, wanted a third land, and we got that. I don't even necessarily care about the Hellhound, although I think I'm gonna give Jank credit here. Assume that we're in a race, and with Skydancer, Golem as our upcoming plays, that's what I want to be doing for the next few turns. So I am gonna feed this Hellhound on the idea that we're not going to be using this for several turns anyway. And if Jank does have a steady flow of lands, this is going to be 2 a turn that we don't want to bother interacting with, so I am just going to use this. You can target my Wind Robber. No? No? All right. It was an option. Against red-green, we are going to, wait on the Skydancer. Not like they can counter it or anything. Yeah, I really don't like using good removal on a 1-drop like that, but it was a 1-drop at the right time for Oppo and would have really helped their plan. And now we have to decide whether we're trading with or racing, and I think we're racing. We're going to let that happen. Golem is going to get online soon, and if it has to just hold the ground for our flyers, that's fine as well. Skulky the Skulker. 5 cards in over there, so we go 6, 7, 8, and then Golem next turn. Although we can go Golem 6, and the next turn main phase Skydancer to attack with a Golem. That's interesting. Maybe I should be doing that. I think I do that. It's not a 3/3. It's not a 6/6 blocker, but it will be a 6/6 attacker by next turn if we dancer it. Did I not attack with that? That was a mistake. I meant to. Weird. Now they got a reach. I just misclicked again. Whether I wouldn't call that not a punt, but I don't care. Just a distraction mistake. All right, we get to 2 spell here and attack with a 6/6. We can't attack. Well, we can even attack into the 0/3. Let's do that here. Yeah, we can swing all. I mean, there's a forest. I guess we did pass the +1/+1 spland. So I do want to, let's see. Defender, reach. There's nothing here that has an activated ability. I am going to play the Skulker now because I wasn't paying attention, and I want to see if there's a pause for that Vastwood Fortification. Okay, I didn't see a pause. Oh, maybe so. I didn't look at that either. Yeah, there could have been multiples, but yeah, there it is. But there was no pause there either, so I'm going to call that safe. Nice murderers row here. Although, too bad Jank isn't at 16. Jank now showing the tools to kill the Relic Golem with a double block. And hopefully, like, our dream draw now is the one of the subtle strikes, any of our removal, or even the 1-drop blue rogue. Interaction. If we get interaction, the Relic Golem can still attack. If not, we'll probably just stick to the air for right now. Oh, that's interesting. So Jank is racing. I'm going to go ahead and trade Skulker for Scorch Rider. I think that benefits our race. Expert will get something after combat. Looks like Jank just figures the only way to win this one is aggro. And with Landfall, that's true. Like, my issue with the green-red Landfall deck is how aggro it just has to be. It is so poor functioning on defense because the Landfall theme is improving power and toughness temporarily. Like, yeah, if you run out of lands and or are not on the attack, it just falls apart. You have Hellhounds. You have O1s. So I've had incredible curve outs with Landfall. Some of the most damage I've done in the shortest amount of time has been with red-green Landfall, but it is very inconsistent in my experience. Carver, great draw. Now we just throw that on our smallest flyer. And we can even throw it on the expert and then everything trades with everything, but I just want straight damage here. Don't need to send the expert, though. It's a pretty easy chump of the golem with the hellhound and then eat the expert with the survivor. So we'll just send the big guy and the flyers. But do you want it to be... So David says, I want my red-green landfall to be more mid-range. How do you make that work? I mean, my problem is that, like, all of the red-green landfall is a temporary power toughness boost that doesn't support being super mid-rangey in the sense of being able to play defense. Sure. So, but you're just never playing... You're just never... Like, do you play Hellhound ever? Have you found a deck where you've liked Hellhound? Yeah, Scythecat is great. But I just find that while you can name the one-off handful of creatures that subvert the norm, I think the norm is too ever-present in red-green for me to have... I haven't built it successfully. I mean, even folk... It's not like I'm, hey, red-green landfall, I'm going to get all the Hellhounds I can get. I'm just saying, hasn't worked out that way. Hasn't worked out well. So we just take this and assume that Jank is not trolling us. Well, I guess we find out. Tapped out anyway, so still had all these moment. But I do think Jank played that effectively the way that was the only way that he could possibly win. Well, there you go. That looks a lot like... That was a lot like the... I had a deck that 7-0'd. It was a bot draft deck that 7-0'd, and the difference was like, very similar to this deck. And in that deck, I had 2 Relic Golems, 2 Mind Carvers, 3 Wind Robbers, and I can't... Maybe even 2 Soaring Thought Thieves. I can't remember. 1 or 2 of these. Anyway, it was pretty busto with just the double Relic Golem, double Mind Carver, triple Wind Robber, and then I had all sorts of interaction. But so the lowdown can mill you out, can damage you out. Rogue's deck has actually worked well for me, and it did fine today, beating up on chat a bit. I'm going to hop to Soapbox, and we're going to thank our YouTube friends for hanging out for that one. Thanks a lot, chat, for joining me. Thank you to everybody who took time out of their week to play with me today. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, as always, to my mods who coordinate this behind the scenes during the week. I am a lucky guy. I have people who care enough about this content that they're willing to pitch in their time to help make it great, and I couldn't feel happier and more thankful that I've drawn those types to me and to this content and to this channel. Thank you so much, Hat. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you so much to all. We've been adding mods. I always mention Hat and Mama, but they're kind of like the mod managers, and there's so many more beyond Hat and Mama who are helping out, making Discord an amazing place. If you like what we did today and like the idea of drafting offline, hopping in and playing against other humans for no gems or coins required, or not gold MTG Arena coins at least. And it's an amazing community filled with rabid drafters looking to get free drafting in using mtgadraft.heroku app all the time. So check out that Discord. And that's also where you can participate in this. If you want to be my opponent some week, then you got to get in the Discord, check in with those folks, get to know them, and then you can make it to the roster of opponents that I face on Fridays. So thank you everybody for that. And YouTube friends, please hit that like button if you enjoy this content and help me find others who would as well, won't you? Thanks. Bye everybody.